Okay, so for the first time ever, I think it's in the first time ever, I asked for topic suggestions for a conversation. Um, there's also letting people know that I still have conversations, which you know if you're watching or listening. The very few of you. Um, so I asked them. I put it out on my story on my personal Instagram, and I think it was a joke, but somebody said the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life or the purpose of living? Um, oh man, what was it now? Now I gotta like look at it again. I thought I had it in the old noggin, and it's not there. Uh, how to find purpose in life? Asking for a friend. So again, I think that's probably done in jest, but it got me thinking like, why not? This will be a part one. It'll be a really short part one, I think, because when I was thinking about it, I didn't remember exactly what it said, like the exact verbiage used, and I was basically I don't know. It was pretty much the same thing. I was thinking like, oh, what is the meaning of life or whatever? What is purpose in life? You know, or yeah. And I want to do a part two sometime with a more formal philosophical approach where I can bring in some different ideas. You would think I'd have a lot to say on the matter because I am so obsessed with mortality, obsessed in a fear based way, but I don't really have much to say. And I think it's because, luckily for me and those around me, I guess, I have an innate desire to live where some people don't. And I think that obviously could negatively impact those people and the people around them and whatever, right? But I have just this desire that some people have for things like procreation, which I don't. I don't have this biological um, instinct to procreate, like the strong desire to do that. I never have at all. And some people have that. I would say a fair amount of people have that. I don't know what the stats on that would be, but it seems like a majority because a majority of people have kids, biological children, or want to, try to. So, but I mean, I would say there's a far greater number of people who have an instinct and an interest in living than not. However, instinctually living is different, I think, than having a purpose. So I guess I have more to say on the matter than I thought. Because I was just going to say, I don't know. Like, that's my answer is like, how do you find a purpose? I mean, this isn't enough. Like, um, some nihilistic approaches, which like I said, I want to have a part two where it's much more formal um, in philosophical approaches and arguments and displaying those and talking about them and working through them. But I mean, some nihilistic people will be like, yeah, it's senseless. There is no purpose. Who cares? You just do it, right? And you just have fun. And I don't necessarily think I'm in that camp. I don't know which camp I fall into, which is one reason I want to do like a formal philosophical approach video because then I would need to study these different philosophies that have to do with mortality and existentialism and all that stuff, nihilism too, and how that approaches the concept and topic of living and dying, and figure some things out a little more. Because, like I said, for me, someone who's so obsessed with the fear of death and loves living very much, that you think I would have more to say. And it's just like, man, I'm just instinctually, my purpose in living is living. Like, is that a good thing? I don't think it's a bad thing, but for someone who really likes higher concept stuff like I do generally, I don't know. I can't say like I just find myself pretty diverse. So when I talk about higher concept stuff, I'm also pretty lowbrow with a lot of things too. There's just a diverse variety of interests that I like in any given topic. For the most part, it's like I enjoy a plethora of different things. So I mean, if it can like that's what I was saying. Like if it comes to things like comedy, like I enjoy really lowbrow humor. I also like really high concept ideas that are more complex in their funnies, in the way that they approach humor and they build on things and whatever, right? Um, but when it comes to just the thought, I just never really thought about what's my purpose, what is the meaning of life, because I mean that's something that's completely individual, right? The weird thing is that I've never really asked myself what is my purpose, and I just think it's because it's so, again, instinctual in me that my purpose is just to continue being here, because my purpose, I would say, is very selfish in the fact, like, yeah, I only have to answer to me for my purpose. I don't have to answer to anybody else. Like, what I do is for me, and obviously I do things for other people and whatever too. And as a human being who interacts with other individuals, I affect other people's lives. But at the end of the day, I can control my life, even though I can affect other people's life. Generally, I can control my life more so than other people can. There's obviously circumstances where you can't control your own life as much as you like because maybe you're imprisoned, rightfully or wrongfully, or whatever. In many different ways that can happen, and that's really unfortunate. And then the only thing you have left is the choice to choose how you're going to feel. At some point, that is a choice. And you can thank Viktor Frankl for that in Man's Search for Meaning. What is the purpose of a living, of life? What is, I don't know. You got to figure that out for you, I guess. If that's, I mean, someone's going to take that seriously. Someone is going to take that challenge. And I guess by that, like, I'm assuming, like I said, that it was in jest. But it's still something that I decided to take seriously just because I thought it was actually a good prompt. Because I'm like, I've never really talked about it because I've never really thought about it. I've never been on this journey of self-discovery and this quest to figure out what my purpose in life is. I don't really question it because I am here and I like being here. And I guess that's what it is. My purpose is to be the best me that I can be. And some people don't have that. And some people feel like maybe their purpose is just to make more people. Why, though? If you suck and the people you make, you teach them to suck and not, or don't teach them and that's why they suck or whatever, then what is the point of that, right? And some people don't think about it. They just like have kids without really thinking about it, and it's not because they're like some crazy divine purpose behind it or some magical mandate that they believe in or whatever. It's just an instinct, and it's like that's it. But it's not necessary, obviously, the way that an instinct to eat is necessary, or an automatic response to stimuli, like our bodies require us to breathe oxygen. So, I guess when I have thought about it, or if I'm thinking about it now, I'm putting my standards and my beliefs into the context of purpose of living. It would be to just continually getting better at being me. I guess that's my purpose. Yeah, like some people really, I mean, I'm going to revisit the topic of legacy, by the way, just letting you know. I'm going to revisit that in a couple weeks because the very first conversation I had on this channel was about legacy, and one specific thing I talked about was, hey, I don't have any kids and I don't plan on having kids, and like that's kind of messed up, like legacy without kids, what does that mean? And, since then, things have kind of changed. And that's been on my mind for a little while about revisiting that conversation. I think it would be perfect to do, like, exactly 2 years later than when I had the initial one, especially because, like, it's been on my mind recently, and it's only going to be a couple weeks until I get to that point to have that conversation, 2 years later. And I think that's wild. That's wild. And I mean, it was only a year after that conversation, or a year and a half after that conversation, that things kind of... Man, how long? Wait, what? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it'll be 2 full years, so that was... Something's not adding up here with the numbers. I want to say it was a year and a half after that I kind of came around to the kid thing. So that means it's been 3 years doing the vlog? Did I have a year zero? Is that what I did? Year zero, year one, year two? I don't think it's been 3 years. No, it's only got to be two. Anyway, this is off topic. This is, sorry, getting stuck in a rabbit hole of some just gobbledygook. um, yeah, purpose in life. Purpose in life is just to be a better me. I've talked about the legacy thing, so um, I don't think it's my purpose to leave a legacy necessarily. It's not a purpose or a function of me living, and that's the thing. You got to go back to all these different ideas of mortality and how you even became to exist, and that I think really informs what you think your purpose might be. Whether it's to like help people or like we're put on this planet to do blah. Like, are we? What do you mean put on this planet? Put by who? Like, or if it's, a belief in evolution and whatever else, and it's like this is just happenstance, and like we're just here and that's it. Like, we're an animal too, we just happen to be a way smarter animal that's aware of our own mortality, and that causes all types of problems, um, and makes things very complicated. So I don't know, personally my purpose in living, I guess, is to just get as much as I can out of the experience of living, and to try to live as long as possible. And while I am living, to continue. I think that to get the most out of I can out of life is to just be a better me and keep learning and changing and evolving and becoming a better person. So that's that, and we'll see you on another time.